Amanda Tennant with amandascorner.com. In this workout, we'll be doing a Pilates-based mat routine, bringing a little bit more attention and focus to strengthening and stabilizing the upper body. So when we talk about the upper body, today's workout is really going to zero in on a couple of joints. The first joint is going to be at the shoulder, and we call that the glenohumeral joint. And then the other joint that we'll be working on is where our shoulder blade kind of rides along the rib cage. So that's called our scapulothoracic joint. And when we look at the movement between the scapulothoracic joint and the glenohumeral joint, then we call that the scapulohumeral rhythm. So ideally, we have this really beautiful, harmonious, fluid movement, a great quality of movement from the scapula to the shoulder. So before we get going on the workout, we're going to spend just maybe another minute or two kind of chatting about the upper body and why we're doing this and why it's important. So out of all of the joints in the body, our shoulder joint should have the most mobility. So we can move the shoulder, we should be able to move the shoulder all around, all kinds of planes of motion. It's a ball and socket joint. It goes all over the place when it's a healthy, normally functioning joint. Because this joint has such freedom of movement, it also inherently is the most unstable joint in the body. So it's very, very important to strengthen the muscles of the shoulder to help stabilize and protect it. So most people have heard of the rotator cuff at the shoulder. The rotator cuff is actually comprised of 4 different muscles that come up into the shoulder. And when we can keep them stable, strong, and balanced, it really does help just to protect the shoulder and let it be healthy and work normally. So again, we mentioned the joint on our back here where our shoulder blade kind of rides on the rib cage. We also need that joint to be healthy and moving well to achieve full appropriate shoulder range of motion. So the first 30 degrees of abduction, and abduction means moving out to the side, away from the body. So about the first 30 degrees, that all happens right at the shoulder joint. But beyond that point, then that scapula starts to kick in as well. And ideally, we have approximately a 2-to-1 ratio of movement. So after that 30 degrees, that initial 30 degrees of abduction, for every 2 degrees of movement that we have at the glenohumeral, at the shoulder joint, we get 1 degree of movement at the scapulothoracic joint, so back here at the shoulder blade. So as you can imagine, if we have some type of injury, ailment, imbalance, something going on at either of those 2 joints, it's going to interfere with how this upper body moves. So the last thing we're going to talk about quickly is just the anatomy within the shoulder joint itself. And I have a skeleton in my closet, literally a model that I should have brought out for you so you could see. But if you can imagine, inside the shoulder joint, we've got a bone right here on top. And then we have the bone of the arm coming up into the shoulder joint. And in between those 2 bones is a very small space. We have a whole lot of structures going through there. So we've got different tendons, and we've got a bursa, and we've got all kinds of things crammed in there. So that's how one of the reasons people will get tendinitis and bursitis and impingement syndrome and pain, or we can get a frozen shoulder, which is adhesive capsulitis. So it's a very small space, and if we don't do everything we can to maximize the breathing room within the shoulder joint, then it's really easy to irritate those structures, and that's painful and uncomfortable, and then we have to go through a rehab process, which takes time, it's downtime. So that's where our alignment and posture come in handy. If we're rounding and coming forward, then when we internally rotate that shoulder, we squish that space. It's already cramped, and we squish it even more, and that's really dangerous and harmful for the structures inside. So throughout this workout, we're going to work on general upper body strengthening. We're going to work on stabilizing the shoulder joints. We're going to talk some about that glenohumeral rhythm and movement, just to bring some awareness to that. So as you're moving throughout your day, when you go to get something out of the top cabinet in the kitchen, that you move appropriately. Very, very commonly, I see once we get about shoulder level, past shoulder level, we start to hike up that shoulder, and that's bad. That's going to lead to trouble. So we want to be dropping the shoulder, depressing at the shoulder as we lift the arm overhead. So we'll discuss that throughout this workout. If you happen to have totally healthy, normal, happy shoulders and upper body limbs, you can still get a good workout workout with this routine, because we will do just some general overall strengthening through the upper body, and of course some core, and we'll get a little bit of lower body in as well. So we're going to get started on hands and knees. I think if I'm remembering correctly, we're not going to do anything on our back at all through this routine. A lot of times Pilates mat work is done supine on your back, and we're not going to do that today. So if you're someone that has tender wrist, if you get pain through the hand, through the wrist, through the forearm, if you have carpal tunnel, anything of that nature, you can either wear supportive gloves, or you can take a little hand towel and roll it, and you'll just place it underneath the heels of the hands, because we will be doing a lot of things where we put pressure down through the palms of the hands and through the wrist. So let's come into a nice even quadruped position. So we're on the hands and knees, and you're going to take a moment here to align the shoulders directly over the wrist, and you want to aim to get those hips right over the knees. And then what I want you to do is take your hands and spread the fingers really wide. So I don't want to see this. I want to see really, really, really wide hands, and I want you to press down through this pad by the thumb. We tend to let that creep up. So that's your thenar eminence, and I want you to really push and suction cup that down into the ground. Okay, so right away, we're going to talk about the upper body here. We do not want to see this. I don't want to see you sagging and crunching the shoulders. This is bad for your low back, and it's bad for your shoulders. So again, you're going to press through that pad by the thumb, keep the fingers spread wide, and push up and out. So right away, we start to work the upper back, we work through the shoulders, and we work a muscle called the serratus anterior, which is really important for the scapulothoracic joint to work normally. Okay. Now, once you're there, I don't want to see these elbows flipping around. We do this in a lot of different types of practices. Sometimes in yoga class, they really encourage that. I don't want that. I want your elbows to be facing each other. So for me, I have a lot of hyperextension. I have to put quite a big bend in my elbows to achieve that. You may not have to do a big bend, but you're going to have softness through those joints. That will help to protect the upper body and work the muscles. We're going to begin here with just a pelvic tilt. This is not going to be a big cat-cow stretch. I just want you to start to wake up the abdominals and loosen up the low back. So as you exhale, you're going to draw the tailbone underneath and pull and contract the abdominals up into the body. You're going to inhale, continue to contract the abdominals, but let the sit bones rise up and behind. So just a few more. It's just like a very small, subtle, gentle rock. But I do want you to start to wake up the belly, use the abdominals. So right now, instead of my bum pushing underneath, I want to think about my belly pulling my pelvis underneath. So I use the stomach. We inhale to come back, lift the sit bones up and out. We're going to exhale to squeeze underneath, and inhale back out. Now we're going to increase this range into a cat-cow stretch. So as you exhale, begin to press down through the palms of the hands. Let the upper body become involved here. Let the head hang, relax. You can shake it out, and let's just hold here. So check your position. Press out through the hands and draw the shoulders down from the ears. On the inhale, we'll look up in front, let the sit bones rise, and again, we're just going to pause there. So you're going to zip up the belly. You're going to make sure that the elbows are still soft. You're pulling the scapula down and away, down the back, like you're putting them into your back pockets. So let's do that again. We're going to flow with the breath now. We're going to exhale to round it out, press and just round out that upper and middle back. Inhale to look up, really long extended position, lift the belly up against gravity, and again, exhale. Use your breath. Inhale out long. One more time, please, just warming up the back and the belly. Start to organize through the upper girdle, through that shoulder girdle. Okay, from here, we're going to settle into a tabletop position where we're nice and flat on top. I want you to take your right arm, you're going to extend it out in front, and I don't want you to think about the hand lifting. I want the shoulder blade to lift the arm. I want your thumb facing up to the ceiling like you're shaking somebody's hand in front of you. So from here, you're going to inhale and shrug the shoulder up to your ear, and then exhale, pull. Again, it's like you're putting that shoulder blade into your back pocket. You're going to inhale and stretch it up, and then pull it down. So we have scapular elevation, a little bit of rotation, and depression. And relax. We're going to switch to the other side. Left arm, like you're shaking somebody's hand out in front of you, try to lift the arm towards your ear, and then inhale, shrug the shoulder up to the ear, and exhale, pull it down the back. Repeat. Inhale, stretch, big, big stretch, and exhale, pull down one more time. So this movement is happening right at the scapula. And release. Okay, we're coming back to the right arm and we're just doing one of those. So we're gonna inhale and shrug it up, exhale, pull down. Holding here, we're gonna take the left foot behind and just press through that back heel so you get a little bit of a calf stretch. And then from your bum, you're gonna lift the leg. If you need to, you can take those right toes and tuck them underneath if that gives you more stability. And you're gonna pull the toes of that left foot in towards your shin. So the thumb is still facing up to the ceiling on the right hand. I want this really energized. So you're reaching out through the fingertips and out through the heel. Take an inhale here. With the exhale, you're going to start to draw the knee and the elbow into the body and crunch that tummy and then reach it back out and flex the foot. So we inhale out, exhale, point the toes, use the belly and pull it in. And again, we're gonna inhale, reach it out, and exhale, pull and squeeze it in. Reach out long and hold. We're using all the extensors, that back line of the body. Release, and let's round out the spine. Just hold here, you can shake it out. Release any tension, but keep the tummy tight. And we'll come back into a tabletop. Left arm now extends out with thumb facing up. We have one shrug. We inhale and shrug the shoulder up. Exhale, release it down. We're gonna reach back through the right heel to find a calf stretch to begin. And then making sure that right elbow is soft, we use the right glute and the back of the thigh, the hamstring, to lift the legs. So we just have this long, hopefully balanced position. You're always welcome to tuck the left toes underneath. That might give you a sense of more security and stability. Hold and breathe, and now take an inhale. And exhale, draw it in, just squeeze it. And inhale, reach back out, stretch, pull the right toes into the shin. And exhale, squeeze, use the stomach, contract. And inhale, reach. And one more time, please. Exhale, squeeze it in, you got it. You're gonna hold this last balance for me. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Drop it down and round it out. Ah, nice job. Okay, so now we're gonna do a balance that's a little bit trickier. So if you find that this is too challenging, you can go back to doing it just how we did with the opposite arm and leg. We're gonna try to lift the same arm and leg. So let's start by moving your left hand away from midline a couple of inches. You're gonna have to really transfer your weight far to the left, so that makes it a little bit easier. So you are gonna transfer your weight over. We're gonna take the right leg back, press through the heel. Again, we're gonna keep the hips closed off. We're not flipping that hip open. Okay, we're gonna keep it closed off, and you're gonna try to lift that right arm with the thumb facing open to the ceiling. Again, this is a little tricky, so have some patience with yourself. Be forgiving. Maintain a sense of humor. It's okay if you fall out. Just come back into it when you can, or you can go back to opposite arm and leg. And release and round out the spine and relax. Okay, so again, let's bring that right hand just a couple of inches away from midline. Really helps as you shift your weight over. You're gonna shift the weight to the right, reach back through that left heel, lift the left heel. You can always tuck those right toes if need be, and then you're gonna lift that left arm, thumb facing up to the sky. This side is harder for me. You very well may have one side that's a little bit trickier. Totally natural. Release, round it out, shake out the head, and relax. So we're gonna sit back into a child's pose and just kind of release here. And I'd like it to be a little bit of a wide angle. You're not gonna have the knees together, but I don't want them as far open as the mat. So I have them a little bit wider than hip distance apart. We're gonna stretch the arms out in front and just let the forehead settle down. Now please be careful if you have sensitive knees, if this bothers your knees. Certainly you can modify this. You can also tuck the toes underneath if you prefer. Okay, so bringing some focus here to the upper body. I want you to walk those fingers out away from you, just like you're stretching way across the room, but then I want you to draw those shoulders down away from the ears. So we just have this lovely opposing force here, and that begins to help normalize and improve the whole mechanics of the upper body. That helps to create more space in the shoulders like we were talking about at the beginning of the workout. And it gives those shoulders some breathing room. Okay, from this position, we're gonna flow through a little bit of a sequence that's gonna involve a push-up. We're gonna start with a knee down push-up. What I'll have you do is lift up out of your child's pose. You're gonna keep your feet together, so this is kind of like a frog shape. And then you're going to lower down into a knee down plank. So lower the hips down. We're gonna keep the elbows narrow to the body. You're gonna inhale and bend. Exhale, push back up and out, and then have a seat Back into child's pose and take a breath here. Check the shoulder alignment, lift the belly, and rise up into a knee down plank with frog legs. Inhale to bend the elbows. Exhale, push back out. Try to apply even pressure through both arms, through right and left sides here. Don't allow the stronger arm to take over. And again, we come into a knee down plank. We inhale, exhale. Keep that tummy really, really lifted and tight, please. We're gonna have one more repetition, and let's flow up and forward, knee down plank. Inhale to lower, like the elbows are gonna tickle right along the ribs. Press up and out, and release. Okay, so if that was a lot of work for you, you can continue this next set just like that. If you're able to, we're gonna come up into a full plank, and we'll have the feet in Pilates style stance. So we're gonna lift up, tuck the toes underneath, keep the heels glued together, inhale to bend, exhale to push up and out, and release. I struggled with that, could you tell? I did yoga class this morning. I've already done probably 100 chaturangas today, so this is tough for me. So if it's really tough, keep it small like I just did, or come back down to your knees. And flow back, and lift up, and down, and push up and out, and release. And we have one more, make it a good one. Fight for it like I am. Inhale down, oh, push up and out, and release, and relax back and down. Okay, from here, we'll press up. We're actually gonna come down onto the belly. So go ahead and bring yourself all the way down. We're going to open the legs to the width of the mat here and turn them out a little bit. Forehead will come down and just relax. We're gonna bring the hands underneath the shoulders, draw the shoulders down long away from the ears, and then lift through the belly. So you don't wanna be sagging and hanging. You wanna pull that belly up and in and draw the shoulder blades down. Pretending like you're pushing a marble with your nose, like you're giving it a little push. You're gonna inhale and just float up really small. So I want this to be small. This is not a big extended back bend, but I want you to lift to a point where you could then release your hands, and I want you to try to do that. And I want you to squeeze that upper back right between the shoulder blades. You're gonna lower the hands down, and then exhale, release down. So support yourself through the belly. Inhale, lift up. We are not cranking on the neck. I want this movement to come from that upper back. Hold and breathe, and lower back down. We're gonna do one more, please. Inhale, lifting up, squeeze, and settle down and in. So if that's enough work for you, keep it like that. Otherwise, we're going to lift a little bit higher. No back pain, zip up the belly. If you're at this point and you'd like to extend out more, you can take the hands out a couple of inches, lengthen through the arms, and come up. Again, I'm not cranking on my neck. This is a very comfortable position for me. I'm not straining anything. I'm gonna bring my hands back in and melt back down with an exhale. Do it again. Inhale, coming up to a comfortable place. You can reach out if it's safe for you. Okay, so again, there's no sagging, there's no dropping, there's no hanging through the belly. Zip up the belly, press up and out, let the collarbones reach away from one another. And then we're gonna exhale down and in and relax. Okay, from here, I want you to set the arms down onto the ground, and they're like goalposts. So each arm is like a right angle, like I'm making a letter L with each arm. And you can just lay right down onto the forehead. You're gonna keep the tummy tight. If this is uncomfortable for your head, you can take a little towel roll and place it right underneath your forehead if you're feeling like you're suffocating here. With an exhale, I want you to use that mid-back, and you're going to squeeze and lift the arms. So this is right between the shoulder blades again, and I'm pulling the shoulders down away from the ears, and we're gonna inhale and just settle down. So we exhale to squeeze and lift, and just pause there, but please don't hold your breath. Keep breathing, lift the tummy up and in, and melt it down. We have one more like that. We're gonna squeeze and hold. This is so good for posture. This is right into your postural muscles. And release. So we're gonna try something a little fancy here, and you wanna take care that there's no pain. We're gonna float it back up, and then I want you to start to extend the arms overhead, but pull those shoulders down. So go overhead like a rocket or like a pencil, and then you're going to pull back into your goal post and relax down into the ground. Catch your breath here. They're small movements, but they should be a lot of work. So you're going to lift up to goal post, stretch overhead, but do not let the shoulders creep up. Pull it back to goal post and relax. And last time, please, lift. Use the mid back to lift. Pull down through the shoulder blades as you reach the hands overhead, back into goal post, and settle down. Okay, from here, we're going to come back to just a lift with the goal post, but we're going to add lower body and a little bit of upper back too. As you inhale, I want you to lift everything up. Just float it again, no cranking through the neck. Exhale, release and relax. Again, inhale, squeeze. Lots of back body in this workout. Getting all your extensors there. And relax. But we're not forgetting to lift the tummy. Inhale up, last one. And relax it down. Okay, so again, if that was challenging enough, stick with that for this next set. If you're able to add on, we're going to inhale up. Exhale those arms out in front overhead, pulling the shoulders down. Inhale back into goal post. Exhale, relax. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. Again, just a reminder, everything should feel comfortable. Last one here. Oh, and relax down. From here, we're going to come up onto the forearms, and you have a few options. So we're going to come into single leg kick. You can have your hands, again, kind of like an L here at right angles, with the hands really wide like we talked about in the beginning, pressing through the thenar eminence. You can also keep this position through the arm and forearm and turn it open into a fist with the thumb facing up to the ceiling. Your last position is to have the elbows right underneath the shoulders and then bring the hands together. And I like to kind of wrap one hand around the other. So whatever you prefer is fine with me. It doesn't matter. Any position is fine. We are going to bring the legs all the way together, and we're going to keep them in parallel. Okay, so this is another place where it's really easy to do something like this. Oh yeah, I don't want any of this. There are so many things wrong with this. Okay, you're gonna press into those elbows, press up and out. You're gonna use your serratus anterior. You're gonna support yourself, and then there's no hanging through the belly or sagging through the back. So we're gonna lift, so my belly is not even touching. It's like the front of my hips are hardly even touching. So I'm really kind of floating above here, legs together. I want this in parallel, and as you exhale, we're going to bend the right leg and bring the heel in towards that right cheek 2 times. There's a little pulse. So we're going to 4 more, please. Keep the collarbones wide, zip up through the belly. Last one. Okay, we're gonna switch the feet into a V so we have the heels together. I want you to bring your left cheek, before I was talking about these cheeks, the left cheek of your face onto the floor. So you're just gonna open up and stretch the neck. We're gonna take the 3 fingers of your right hand, grab them with your left, lift the hands, clasp them and lift them as high as you can, comfortably can on your back, and then let the elbows hang and drop. So just a little bit of a stretch here. And actually for this, you can just kind of let the legs go if that feels good. If you need to release the low back, it can feel good to even internally rotate the legs and bring the big toes together and let the heels open. And just a breath here. So we can just release some of those muscles we've been working through the arms and upper and mid back. Okay. So now we're going to come into the exercise. We're going to bring the heels back together into a V, tighten up the glutes and the belly. Now we have 3 heel beats. We're going to beat it in, 2, 3, and then we're going to stretch the legs out long, take the arms behind, lift the upper body, stretch, squeeze those glutes, squeeze the thighs together. And now we're going to bring the right face cheek down, hands as high as they can go. Let them drop open, relax the legs, and breathe. I don't know if you guys can see behind me, but it is snowing quite a bit here. So now that I turn this way, I can see how much snow is coming down. Okay, we bring the heels back together. We're going to beat 3 times. We beat it in, 2, 3, and stretch and reach. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. Now, let's switch. So you're going to, again, rotate the head, but now grab the fingers on the left hand with your right hand and come down. So we have the opposite hand grabbing 3 fingers. Hold and breathe. We're going to do this variation one time on each side as well. Just another breath here. Okay, heels draw together, 3 heel beats, beat 2, 3, and stretch. Oh, it should feel good. We're gonna bring the hands up high on the back, let them open, relax the legs. Just appreciate, this is kind of like a reset exercise. Just take a moment to catch your breath because the pace and the intensity will pick back up in just a second. Okay, last one, heels together, inner thighs together, and beat it in 2, 3, and stretch. Last time, hold, 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 hold. Oh, and relax down. Okay, we're gonna press back up onto all fours, just like we started. So if you need to grab a towel roll, go ahead and do so and place it underneath the heels of the hands. Again, you're gonna bring your shoulders right over the wrists, spread wide through the fingers, get the hips over the knees, and soften those elbows. Really, really pay attention here. So we're gonna take this right leg behind you, okay, at hip level, but then we're gonna turn it out. Sometimes when we turn out, we really want to pop the hip open. Don't do that. Keep it at hip height. Just keep it turned out like it has a little bit of a V. And I want you to point your toes and imagine your toes are a pencil. And we're going to start drawing 5 circles each direction on the wall behind you. So there's 2 for me. Use those glutes. Stabilize here. Press up and out through the upper body. So after you've done 5 one direction, we're going to reverse and draw a circle. Just as smooth and fluid and even as possible. Rotate through those hips. And relax it down. Same thing on the other side. So the left leg is going to come behind you, pointed foot, hip height, and then turned out without really popping and hiking the hip. And we draw 5 circles. You pick which direction you'd like to go first. We'll probably pick our more natural direction. That's fine. And then reverse it. Make sure we get in both ways. Oh, good job. Finish that. Come back down. We're going to keep the hips lined up over the knees. We're going to come back down onto the forearms here. So you get to choose any of those positions we talked about earlier. You can have flat hands, you can have fist, or you can come together, clasping or wrapping one hand around the other. We're going to come into a donkey kick move here. So we're going to transfer weight to the left side, press up and out of the upper body, let the right knee come into the body. As you press back, I want you to take that heel and smash it back behind you so you work that right cheek and the right hamstring. Use the tummy to pull it in with your inhale. Exhale, push and squeeze. Zip up the belly. Pay attention to the alignment of your upper body. Push and squeeze. Inhale in. Exhale, push it away. Should feel some intensity here. Push it away. That's 7. We're going to do 3 more. Inhale in, push it away. Just a little bit of a pause as you push it away. Just really make an intense squeeze. Last time, push, and we'll come down and switch sides. So left leg inhales in and exhale, push it out. You can also take the bottom foot, your right foot, and tuck the toes if you need to for stability. Exhale, push and squeeze. Inhale in and push. Halfway there, 5 more. Two more. Little pause at the end. Oh, and relax out of it. Nice job. We're gonna come over into a side forearm plank. So we'll come over onto the side. Alignment here again is really important. I want this to be comfortable and safe for your body. So you're gonna get that shoulder right over your elbow. You can choose to have the hands spread out, or you can come into a fist position. We're gonna take the legs and stack them in parallel, and you have a choice. Actually, let's start with the hand down in front. You're gonna press yourself up and out. You can use that hand for support if you need it. Let's flex the feet. Then that hand can choose to come up at the hip, your side, or even up to the sky. And I want you to push those hips up. Really push. Draw that shoulder down away from your ear. Breathe. Relax. Set it down. You're going to bend the knees. You're going to lift up. You're going to bring this arm that was just working up overhead. You're going to bend it so we can come into a tricep stretch. You're going to grab not right on the elbow joint. You're going to come down below it. You're going to pull the arm and then a little bit of a side stretch too. So we get triceps and side stretch. It's kind of like a tricep mermaid fusion. Oh, good. Okay, so we're gonna repeat that. So again, come down, find alignment here that works for you, position that you like. We'll take the legs out. You can start with this hand down in front, and you can use it to kind of assist you if you need to, or just for balance and support, and then release it. Press those hips up, hold and breathe. And release. Good job. One more time. Let's stretch it up. We would bend the elbow, grab to the opposite side of the upper arm, and just a little bit of a pull on the arm and a side stretch. Good. Okay, other side. Of course, we have to stay balanced. So come down onto your forearm. We'll take the legs out. We're going to end up with flexed feet stacked in parallel. You'll press up and out. You can release the arm to wherever it's comfortable. Press the hips up. You might have one side that's easier, of course. This one's much easier for me. Release and relax down. And we'll stretch up and away and pull gently. Should always stretch until you feel a stretch. It can be intense. It might feel tight, of course, but no pain, please. We want to be healing our body, not harming it. One more time. We're going to press up and out. Lift the hips. Hold. Breathe. Draw the navel into the spine. And release. Awesome job. Up and away. Catch your breath and stretch. Okay, we're gonna come now into a little bit of side kneeling series. So you're gonna come up, you can have your knees open to the width of your hips. I like to start this with my hands on my hips, and you're just gonna kind of fall and catch yourself, okay? So you can have your fingers facing forward, they can face out to the side, but again, please spread through that hand. You're gonna stretch your leg out, you're gonna pull the toes in towards the shin, and you're gonna angle the toes down. So we have the heel heading up to the ceiling. We're gonna start with just a little bit of a leg lift. So you're gonna exhale and squeeze it up. You should feel that through your abductors and through the glutes. Exhale, squeeze it up. So my neck here is relaxed, and I'm keeping my shoulders drawn down. So a nice long fluid neck. Draw the belly into the spine. We're gonna try 4 more. And relax and release, come back up. We'll go to the other side. So we'll come down, catch yourself, spread through those fingers, stretch out the leg, pull the toes into the shin, and then angle those toes down. We're gonna exhale and lift and release. You can even take this arm up to the ceiling if you'd like. 5 more. Exhale up, 1 more. And pop yourself back up to kneeling. We're gonna come back down to the first side. Stretch the leg out long. This time we're gonna point the toes and turn it out. So it's like a V shape, a little bit of external rotation. So we go back to our foot being a pencil. You're gonna draw 5 circles each direction to the wall on the side of you. Just keep breathing naturally, please. 5 the other way. Press up and out, draw the belly in, and lift back up. Last set. We come down, stretch the leg, point the toes, turn the leg out, and circle. We're almost through. You're doing really good. Good. 5 the other way. This body's supposed to be for upper body, but I can feel this all over. Hopefully you can too. Come back up. We're gonna sit into just a nice, easy, cross-legged position, just comfortable. If this isn't comfortable for you, find something that works. I just want you to relax here. And then I want you to just start to circle the shoulders, just roll them back. Let the arms just kind of hang like dead weight. You can keep the tummy pulled in. Just maybe 1 more, and let's reverse. We're gonna come up and around. You can wiggle the jaw, you can stick out the tongue, nobody's looking. Let your face relax. So any tension that maybe crept into your body throughout that workout, try to breathe it out here, work it out. Good, now let's inhale and shrug the shoulders up to the ears really tightly. And drop them, just release it. Again, inhale, it's almost like you're intentionally creating a little bit of strain and tension, and then let it go. So you can feel the opposite there. We've got 1 more. We're gonna squeeze it up really tight. You can even put your hands into fist, and let it go. Let's go ahead and let 1 ear drop to the shoulder on the same side. Just take a breath here. We're going to turn the nose down towards your armpit. We're going to circle the head down and around. And then we're going to look straight forward again. So we have the ear towards the shoulder. One more time, opposite side. Again, turn the nose down. Just roll it down to center and lift up from here. We're going to take the hands in front of you. Go ahead and clasp the fingers. We're going to press the palms away from the body and round out the upper body. So draw the belly in. Drop the shoulders. This is another place they'll try to creep up on you. Don't let them. Now we're going to sit up tall, take the arms overhead and start to extend. You can gaze upward if it feels okay on the neck. Just keep it comfortable. Bring the arms down in front, switch the clasp of the hands so that you'll have probably your non-dominant grasp here. Arms will come out in front. We're gonna round out again. Pull that belly in and lift, stretch. And relax and release, and we are finished. Great job. Thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully you could see how we brought a little bit more attention here into, we did a lot of what's called closed chain. We had the hand into something stable, being the ground. So we did a lot of closed chain, strengthening and stability work for the upper body. Really, closed chain is a very effective and safe way to start to build that stability and strength, particularly if you do have some kind of ailment, injury, dysfunction, imbalance, something going on in the shoulder. It's a great, great place to start. So this workout could be a good thing if you are rehabbing your shoulder. Of course, make sure that it is appropriate for you before you do it. And if you're lucky enough to have completely healthy, normal shoulders, and hopefully you just got a good all-over workout like I did. Thanks so much for joining me, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.